what does myself at 100% look like? Once you write it down and you map that out, you can see what percentage of that you live in. This high level club is going to be by far the best project, best community, best tribe, best anything that I've put together.
Who's the top 3? If you did nothing for the last 10 years and you come and take Drake down, you the top guy.
Kendrick can outdress Drake. I don't think he got more women. Like, what that got to do with anything?
And these blogs are important, and everything that we film is important.
So High Level World is everything right now, and that is the culture.
Like, she can do her own show, but if she gonna be here, we might as well like literally just have like FAQs.
Yeah.
So it's just like a little tech with X, so that we can drop shit on the High Level page like daily.
It could even be like Vlad TV type shit, where it's just like you have a question.
So we think of literally like one question. Yeah, I mean per day. The designer lady, can you send her over those silver panels that I was talking about?
Designer lady
that came in. I was gonna do the show.
Oh yeah. So you remember this?
Yeah.
I didn't know how you. She
responded back in the text.
No, she didn't say anything in text.
She did. She was like, "It was nice to meet y'all."
She said, "I'll give y'all a quote after the fact." That's all. I didn't.
Yeah, but that was because we just met.
Okay, but how was it? Because she said she usually do like houses. You know,
yeah. No, she said she was excited about this because she usually do houses.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah, but I showed her that panel. She said she can do that, like that silver.
Oh, you sent her?
Yeah.
You just wanted it. Like,
yeah, I just had showed it, but yeah, you can send it.
Okay, but I had reached out to the people for InvestFest that could help us out with that booth because I really want to lock in with them. But first, I just wanted to get a quote for like everything, like how much they estimate it's going to be to like the labor, the contractors. Pretty much, they're charging like essentially for like putting everything together and handling everything, which I think is fair. And I think if we have a real minimal setup with like that metallic thing or something similar to it, like all around, like for the floor, for the walls, like for the shelves, like I think that'd be like enough to. That shouldn't be too much.
Nah, she said it's on like a few hundred. That's what she said.
She knows like that material shit.
Yeah. If half of it was silver, I think that'd be raw. But even if we just do this half where it's painted brown, even if we had one wall, I would still make that work. Like if it was just this wall, and then for the visual aesthetic at least, we can make that work. Because then we can paint the rest of it one color. But it really just depends on how much the cost. If the cost ain't bad, then I'll just do the whole half of the building. So what's up with your sister right here?
She has a podcast.
Oh,
and she wants to get you on a podcast, and I pretty much said you would do it. I've seen her stuff. Like I didn't know she had a podcast and stuff. I think she was actually in the AI Supremacy Challenge. You remember the woman that name kept popping up?
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you remember that, but she was actually in the AI Supremacy Challenge. And I was talking to her after. She was like, "Yeah, I learned a lot, blah blah." I think she would be a candidate. You know what I'm saying for doing content with it. She wants you to get on her show, and if you're good with it, I wanted to set that up this week.
Yeah, I think that's
If I was living at 100%, this is going to be something that I want high level club members to do as well. I first started off with like clothing. Like what will my life look like at 100%? What type of clothes would I wear? Right? What would the fabrics be like? Everything would be tailored, custom, right? Changed based on the seasons, based on the color science that I should be operating with. I wouldn't go shopping. I would only wear clothes that I've made. It'd be a mix of luxury, military style with cultural aesthetic, only the highest quality, right? And then you would really kind of like have a vision of how would that look, starting from clothes just because it's a visual aesthetic, right? How would it go from, and you can be as detailed as you want to, right? What would my money look like if I was living at 100%? And it's about also being honest as well. It's not about like you just coming up with some fluff. For every goal you have to have something that, you know, correlated that you would give in order to receive it. So it'd be off lectures, courses, community, views, appearances, books, newspaper, coffee table, newspaper, retreats, commissions from funnel system products, a land compound where I host camps, fashion line, luxury like product couture meets Asiatic style and influence, a network of people that is funneling through commissions on the back end of their programs that we're funneling to, a whole world built out, right? And really, once you get from every category, so you can go to the way that you eat, the way that you look, what does myself at 100% look like? Like, what's my greatest body? We settle right, throughout life. We're not really going at 100%. Like, how would my posture be? How would I walk, right? I'm muscular, buff. Not only that, I got great mobility, right? Strong as hell. I have to be my greatest version. Now, everybody's may not live that, but once you write it down and you map that out, you can see what percentage of that you're living. Are you living 50% to that? Are you living 70%? Are you living 100% of that? Right? And then the beautiful thing about it is once you reach those levels, your perspective may change and your 100% looks like something else. But for me, living at 100% is really getting people to visualize their life in all areas so that they can master every area of life. And that's something that I want everybody to do. Everybody has to sit down and what does my life look at 100%? You feel me? And now you get to see how far you are from really living at your edge and living at your peak versus living at your baseline. And I think most people are just living at their baseline. And I don't want to live on my baseline. I want to be in a high level club. So from here, I was talking about I had went and got me some Vanta black fabric. So this is the darkest fabric in the world, so-calledly. You know what I'm talking about? And I had an idea that I wanted to wrap it around in this, right? I was going to wrap it around in this fabric because we was going to have an interview microphone that we was utilizing. And then we was going to take this puff off and put it on top of here. So people are going to be interviewed. I wanted everything to be customized. And then I also had a vision that for all our clients that's in the high level club where we help with their media, they got their own customized mics and things of that nature. Just really getting deeper into the brand aesthetics and the details of it. You feel me? What we're going to be changing in the shop, this high level club is really like members, real tribe stuff. You feel me? So I already got some team member jackets and stuff that's going to be coming. But I'm now going back into my bag to where I used to have my shop in Oakland. And I remember the racks that I had. So I wanted to order me a couple of racks. We probably only need like 2, maybe 4. Probably need about 4 racks. So when people come in, they can shop. I like having the open area, but we'll have it probably right here. Inshallah, we get these. We get this store. Whether it's going to be painted or we're going to have these silver panels here. So we got this real clean, minimalist aesthetic when you walk in the place. And it feels very futuristic and open. I like the plants. I want to keep the plants, but we're also going to be using this particular area over here to run the media. We got 3 different backgrounds that we can use from the green screen, the white, the black. Therefore, we can switch it out based on the mood. We have our lights. We have plenty of cameras. We got the switcher board. I think we got everything we need as far as the media operation is concerned. I just want space for the clothes. Then we're going to have different artists. We had some people submit art already. Different artists around the world been hitting me up, super talented. So pick some of the best ones, have them lined up here. Some of the best ones, have them lined up here. When you walk in, it should just feel like this art culture place. I want it to feel like a vibe that I never want to leave. Like, that's my whole thing. Like, if I'm at home, I want to feel like I wish I was at the shop. You feel me? I wish I was at the headquarters. Same thing, we about to have new collections that's going to come out here. There's supposed to be a big LED screen that's going to be in the front there. Everything going to be high level. You feel me? It's going to be one of those spaces we haven't even started sending out invites and letting people come in yet. But that's about to happen soon. Juneteenth, inshallah, we got collection dropping and more. This high level club is probably going to be, not probably going to be, this high level club is going to be by far the best project, best community, best tribe, best anything that I've put together. I believe that a lot of my moments and everything that we've been doing has prepared and set up us to get to this moment to where we have the final frontier, right? We went through multiple organizations, went through multiple collaborations. We've learned a lot. We've toured around the whole planet, right? We've taken all of that knowledge from when I've had stores. We've been running online retail and doing things for years and years and years. And all of that is going to culminate into this high level club. So it's going to be vibes.
Keys right now seems to be on like, it's like he's already there. Like he can see it and he can touch it. Like he knows what he wants. Like the vision is that clear. but he's like living it now. So he's just going through things that he's thought of and he's just sharing, but it's like a secondary thing because it's already been lived through his head. So even going back to what he was saying about the whole 100% mentality, like that concept, I think it's a dope mindset. I mean, it's, you know, it's pretty, I think everybody relates to that, but I think it actually reminds me of Manifest House, where there's something that happens along the process, you know? When you're a kid, you're told you can do everything and you have all that energy, and people give you that battery in your back, so to speak, that encouragement, that limitless encouragement. Anything's possible. Dream bigger. Like, you're not dreaming big enough. And then life happens, as they say. And I think for the high level club element of it and the whole 100% mentality, for me, I look at it like there's two type of people in the world. Like, there's people who, Keith said, living at their baseline, which most people are at. And I think some people, they actually know the things that they want to do. Like, they can see it in their head. They can vision it. They actually they may even be like working towards it because they know what those things are, but there's still something that got them stuck, or still something that's like a block in the way. You know, I think entrepreneurs a lot of times can relate to just time. Like, when he says 100% or 110%, 119%, whatever it is, I just think about like time. Like, if you had, like, so similar to how you were saying, like 100%, like that's a actual, like a thought experiment where if you had 100% physical, 100% in terms of your fashion and how you look, 100% in your finances, 100%, like, how does that look like? To me, I'm like, how does it look like if you just stop the world? You know what I'm saying? Like, everything just stops for like a week or a month or whatever, however much time you need to like do everything that you already know that you want to get done. But it's just like so much on your plate that maybe that's what's preventing you from getting those things done. If you could stop everything and just like get to that end point, like the finish line with everything that you're working on, how would that look? You know? And I think that's also an exercise of like priority, you know, on the high level club mindset, because there's a lot of things that we probably could take out that aren't priorities. And it's like, if you do this thing, even with the 100% mentality, if you 100% here, is that going to bleed into this next? And is that going to get to that next? Like, is it a domino effect of one affecting the other? Or is it like I'm going to ask you, like, what do you think is the best approach to, I know it's like a concept, but the 100% thing, is it like do 100% in every area first? Or is it like gradually, you know what I'm saying, get to from 50 to 75 to 100 all together?
I think that particular areas you focus on make you better than others, right? So, say physical, right? Your physical peak performance is going to help you with your mental peak performance, right? So if you focus on that, because if I go work out, I got more, like today, I'm just off pure energy. All I had was orange juice and some water. You feel me? Nothing else. But I did work out heavy. You feel me? I took some creatine, you feel me? And I heard that that's a good neural enhancer. But I was working out and I went extra hard today. Remember, I went to success, not failure. I went to success today. And I felt like I gave myself one of them 100% workouts because nobody was watching me. I didn't have to do it. And I kept coming up with reasons. I was about to leave and I said, nope, one more, nope, one more. I did one exercise that I could have been like, you know what, that's good enough, because I watched this influencer that was breaking down good bicep workout. I went through his regimen, was like, I still got more. So I could have just been like, nope, I went through that, so that was good enough. No, let me do it again, because I don't even feel like I got the technique right. I kept making excuses so I can do more, not making excuses to get out of more, right, and do less. So, but by working on yourself physically, yeah, you embody that. And now you like, all right, now that I worked on myself, all right, what I'm going to do with all this energy? What's the point of me getting myself up to this peak, seeing this transformation and change in my physical? I have all this energy. I'm more focused, right? My lymphatic system clears my brain. I'm ready to go. So now let's focus on the mental. Okay, what can I do with my mind? Then that's when we go to learning, and then we go to execution. So if I'm focused on my mind, so we focus on our physical and our mental peakness, everything else shall rise, right? So, but if you have no energy physically, everything else will fall. Right? If you don't have knowledge, you don't have a growth mindset, everything else will fall. So I think it's really starting at getting your physical and your mental to 100%, right? That goes into your spirit because that's working out is spiritual as well, right? Being mindful, that's spiritual as well. Because when I work out, I'm literally doing meditations and things of that nature. I'm vibing, right? And it's a wrestle with the spirit. So I think that's when you're done and you're learning. All of that is correlating to those other areas. How can you want to be peak here, right? And then not have peak performance in those other areas. So I would say focus on the mental or the physical, the mental, and the spiritual, right? And I think the rest of them is going to follow.
That's dope. Yeah, and transitioning to what you were saying about, that's actually everything's coming together. Because even you were talking earlier about people skills, talking to people, the ways to, from something as small as like remembering somebody's name to doing things to get to work with people more effectively. So, you know, when I was working in the National Association of Black Accountants, this organization, they their motto is lift as you climb, which I always thought was a super dope.
What?
Lift as you climb. You gotta lift as you climb, which I always thought was a super dope slogan because, you know, I'm looking at that ladder analogy right now, and what I want to do is work with people, continuing working with the people that I'm working with, and bring them up essentially to be able to do the things that I'm doing. You know, so it's like giving them the processes and procedures, the show Bibles, everything that we're working on, where it could be templated and they can kind of run it and take more ownership of it so that I can focus more on doing what I'm super excited to get started on doing, which is like all these keynote content. It's so much knowledge. It's so many things. We work with dope people all the time that, you know, people would love to know about the skills and the day in, day out of like what they do. Like people don't even know what they can do because they don't even see those options available for them. You know, even with you, like you made your own lane, but other people who don't maybe have that onus and that creativity to do that, they may have not seen that before you started doing what you're doing. So you already inspired a bunch of people. So it's like, yeah, let's make a keynote on public speaking. Let's make a keynote on, you know, business 101, various topics that we could do. Let's talk to some people that we've worked in PR and have them do a keynote on what skill sets they learned in PR and how they navigated to get to where they, because people don't know that roadmap. You know, you don't learn these things in school per se, you know, so a lot of these entrepreneur related jobs. So we work with so many dope people. I'm excited to do these keynotes, have people come in here and really just build that out in the high level community, like to see people's growth. We have somebody coming in for a consultation tomorrow. I'm super excited about that. Like I'm super, I love Keys always talking about like the process. Like we don't even have like, I wanted to have a table set up and a few things first, but it's like, whatever, we gonna do it now.
Thug it out.
Because they need that information. They're super excited. I'm super excited. Like those are the things that like, you know, it just like what I was saying earlier, Keys is like living it. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like here. It's something that's he already sees it. And when you get to that point, it's like you just, it's like you on caffeine. That's what
you already vibrating there.
Right.
Like success comes with a certain frequency. Like the moment that you get there, you're at that. It's like building up a hertz. You know, 1 hertz, 2 hertz, 3 hertz, 4 hertz, 5 hertz. But when you visualize the end in mind, you're already at 432 hertz. You're already at the peak. You're already at 528 hertz. You're already at 777 hertz. Like, what is the hertz of this? What is the frequency of the vision? Right. And the more you think about it, the more you contemplate, but also the more action work, right, you do, and you like reinforce yourself. Because I've been spending time designing it for the last few days. So it's really in my mind. And the visual is so important. Right. This is why sometimes a person can build something. Right. People that work in like engineering, people that work in mathematics, they can build like the code for it, but they don't have a vision for it. They just have a technical. So they don't know about getting into the consumer. So there's a lot of people that build a lot of great things, but because they don't have vision, they can't get it to the end consumer because they didn't build it with the end consumer in mind. They didn't build it with what's going to be experienced when it's alive and it has to move throughout the world and other people have to interact with it. What does all of that look like? So they don't think empathetically, and they probably don't have the social skills, and they socially inept because they're usually in dark rooms, kept away from people, and that's not their focus. That's why you need a visionary to think about what is the funnel process, right? What is the world? right? And then how is that thing that you're building fit into the world? And that's where I come. I world build in my mind, right? And as I think about the bonfires we have, where we have these sessions and we have these breakthroughs, and where we working out and we helping people go through these different transformations and living 100%, that to me is going to be a marker of my legacy, because I think about life, I think about death often. If I die right now, what will my legacy be? And when you are legacy driven, because I'm not profit driven, and because I'm not profit driven, I can't just focus on the money to make money. So I have to find something else that I'm really passionate about that's going to make profit. For me, it's legacy and impact. So when I focus on my legacy, how I'm going to be remembered, that happens to matter to me, right? So I think about creating the maximum amount of impact, which will also then have tethered to it the maximum amount of profit. So therefore, I'm focusing on impact. So the more impact I make, the more money I make, so I can live passionately and joyful while building a legacy. That to me is thinking about the mind map of self, so that I can build a life, right, based on self-awareness, so I can enjoy the life that I live. So when you're profit driven and you don't enjoy what you do, you're going to make the profit, right? But you might end up also making depression. So that's why I want to focus on, in the High Lvl Club, we focus on the joy economy, right? We focus on how to be passionate about the things you do and how to physiologically connect that to the psychology of what you're doing, because you can become passionate about anything. It's really about, smiles and cries. Who said something about smiles and cries before? I don't remember.
Smiles and cries?
Yeah, but life is all about smiles and cries. You feel me? But when you think about it, when we don't like something, we snarl up, because we have a negative association with it, right? They say when you want to see what you really feel or somebody really feel about you, the moment that they see you in that split second, do they smile or do they frown?
Yo, I cannot have my facial expressions either.
Right.
I cannot do that.
So for me, when you think about it like that, think about, you can tell and trauma does that too as well. When we store trauma in our body, we think about something, we're going to automatically, right, frown and tense up. And until it's released out of our body, we stop having that. We're going to continue to have that physiological connection to it, that psychological response. So to change that, like I was telling him earlier, I'm at the gym. I'm not going to work out with the ugly face. I'm going to work out with the smiley face. So I'm creating, right, an endorphin connection, a serotonin connection, to where this feels good. Now my body like, let's get to that part. Let's go feel good, versus let's go to failure. Oh, I hate it. No, I was working. I'm like, why are we talking about going to failure? First of all, I don't want to hear the word failure while I'm working out. You know what I mean? We going for the win. We going to success. And success is when you go all the way to the point where you can't go no more. Why? Because it lets you know that you've grown. That's what it does. And then I'm smiling at that point like Joker. I'm a maniac. You can look at me crazy all you want to. I'm training my body. You over there looking like this. I'm feeling. Nah, sucker.
When he said earlier, the focus on marketing and having a vision and like the branding and how people don't think about that enough, it reminds me of like Robert Kiyosaki in Rich Dad Poor Dad, when he's talking about being a best-selling author and not the best author, and people sleep on that element because, there's other elements than the actual thing that you're doing. And it's like Keys always talks about, like, people are masters in their craft, but then they don't want to apply that mastery to other elements of their craft. Like, you may be a master artist, but you don't want to apply that master creativity to the marketing or to the branding or to the other elements of it. So, that also has me thinking about, I seen a clip, I don't know if you saw that clip online on social media, of like this investor in Apple who was there investing before Steve Jobs left the company, and then when he came back, and he was saying, the difference between when Steve Jobs was there originally and when he came back is the same visionary, like the same creative person, dope ideas, visionary, all those sort of things. But the difference was they had Tim Cook, who was, kind of helping out with like the back end things and the management and whatnot. And so I don't know how true that is, like if it's just that 1-for-1 situation, but the point is, it's like, it's great you gotta have all these elements. It's kind of ties back to what you
Yeah,
said
it's
earlier.
like,
Like
it's
there's
like,
multiple elements.
what's Jordan without Rodman?
Yeah, exactly. You
You know
gotta
what I'm
have.
saying?
I look at it like this too, though, because last night we was watching a documentary, and when you was talking about it earlier with the Walmart and when they created their infrastructure, but then you got a company like Costco who didn't had no thought input. They just took their whole template, took Sam's Club whole template and created a whole store. Now they everywhere. So sometimes, like when you say some people like they can be a master artist, but they ain't got it on the branding side. Sometimes you don't need it. You can take somebody else's template. If because that strength, I mean, that might be connected to their weakness. You feel me? So if it's connected to your weakness, just take somebody else's template who already doing it, because there's always somebody who got an infrastructure that's doing it. Yeah, they definitely took it.
So you gotta. So I think we agreeing. It's just like don't yeah right exactly. That's the point. So however you want to do it, whether you're taking a template or whether you're applying that same creative energy to another element, whatever you do, it just got to be at a high level. It's got to be at a high level. Like everything at a high level is kind of the point. And so, I think that's key too with the community.
And specifically building a community, like it's kind of like what Keys was mentioning earlier, about profit and focusing on legacy. A big element of that is like being efficient in executing the mission. So it's great to have these one-on-one consultations, but it's like, all right, we gotta film everything, and these blogs are important, and everything that we film is important because it amplifies it. It's not just that one-on-one conversation. It's whoever's watching that conversation that may have similar questions, that may even, some people like enjoy things for content. So even if it's just like they just want to see like Keys having a conversation with somebody about their business, they may not have similar questions or be in the same position as that brand or that business, but they just want to maybe watch it for entertainment. But in that, you can still gain something out of it, because you can gain something out of anything. And when you're surrounded by positive content, uplifting content, dope content, things, people that you actually are inspired by on a daily basis, whether it's seeing Keys or whether it's seeing Steve Jones and how he carries himself and his story, whatever element that brings you a part of it, like you're a part of something bigger though. It's not just you. It's not just one conversation. It's a bigger thing. So I think that's so key with the advent of media. We can amplify these messages and not have it where it's like individual one-on-one conversations, one-on-one shows. No, we can make this as big as it can go. And when you're into a club like this, in a community like this, like you're a part of something. Like you're actually like, it's not just like a one-on-one, I bought tickets to this, now I'm done. Like, no, you're actually a part of something. You can talk to the other members in the community. Like it's a family, so to speak. That's what the goal is, at least for me.
InvestFest coming up in August. And last year at InvestFest, of course, we had I should say the most popping booth at the whole entire event. Off the top of y'all head right now, even if y'all didn't think about it, I'm gonna put y'all on the spot. What do y'all think we can add to this year's event that would, like, take it over the top compared to last year?
I haven't really been focused on the booth. I just really been thinking about the High Level Club. Outside of that, in the high level world, because I've been trying to give all my mental energy to that. But when it comes to the booth and when people are coming there, we're gonna automatically have that energy. We're gonna have the members that's gonna be pulling up. They're gonna be tapped in. I remember at first I was thinking about having like a tailor there, where people can get measured for some of the custom high level fits that we're gonna be having. To where, they can pick up stuff that they bought online, or they can get exclusive things. I don't know. I haven't really thought about like just one-off things. My biggest thing right now is really high level world. That's why I've been letting the team take care of the InvestFest, because that's our moment fitting inside somebody else's brand. But really, the bigger thing is announcing high level world, where we got the festival, we got the block party, right? And then we got, YouTube theater where we're teaching, and creating a different moment in time. For me, it's all about world building right now. We're bigger than any one moment at this point. and our brand don't fit in no other brand anymore. It never really did, but it was just harmonious collaboration to get us to a peak. But it doesn't make sense in nobody's mind for um, us to not have a standalone brand. You feel me? Because High Level is a whole nother world. You feel me? Like we've had great collaboration with Earn Leisure. We probably brought 700,000 people to their platform. But you know, it's time now to build our own everything. You know, but you know, I've always thought about long term. I always try to go for long term collaboration. But you know, where there's no growth, there's no oath. You feel me? So that's my main thing in life. If there's no growth there, then you don't have an oath there. So you either find a way to make growth, right? Um, or you have to continue to move forward so that you can continue to grow. If you can find growth, then have an oath to it. You feel me? As long as it fits in that paradigm. And so for me, I've looked for different routes. I can create growth if I want to, but is the growth in the loyalty or is the growth in the development of our own entity? And I think that's going to be better for my operation, for the team, for our tribe, and things of that nature is focusing over here so we can create more opportunities for people over here. Because nobody has helped us get guests. Nobody has helped us with bookings. Nobody has helped us grow but us. So we might as well continue to have an operation that we own and we control. So High Level World is everything right now. And that is the culture. That is the new culture. That's the only thing I'm fighting for. But InvestFest will be a great time. It's going to be a vibe. I'm going to enjoy it. Inshallah, the people will enjoy it. They will come there. And we got something very special planned for InvestFest for the stage, right? So I'm excited for that. Not only that, we got some other announcements, projects we've been working on for about a year now behind the scenes that I can't even tell y'all about until the time is ready. So I'm excited for that. And y'all gonna understand why collaborations make more sense than individuals, because individuals don't really matter to me. I'm always say that and always will say that. Your success, your money, your lifestyle, right? None of that matters not to the collective. You can, you know, showcase whatever you want to a million times a day, but it doesn't speak on collective progress, right? And we center too much around the individual, not enough around the respect of the collective and the growth of the tribe. And I see people outside of our ethnic group are able to do that. Even when they disagree with each other, they still understand the importance of having men of the same ethnic group, right, at the helm, right, being at the top. So we have too much disconnect, and it's disrespectful to our ancestors, and it's disrespectful to our descendants or our ascendants for us to not work together. So for me, I'm gonna focus on those who ready, and those who not, they get left behind.
So I would say how to make it stand out or how to make it different. We're already doing like a very futuristic booth style that I'm looking forward to, that I think that's going to stand out. But when Steve asked the question, what I thought was, you know, having some sort of way to market everything in a grassroots movement. I just had a vision of like people having signs that said, you know, find your tribe or something like that related to the High Level community, and like walking around InvestFest with it. Because I look at it like a marketing opportunity, because even that's what I think what you were getting at. It's like a big event in terms of like marketing. It's a lot of people there, and, you know, we're building our own community, but there's a lot of overlap with people who have similar you know, interests, or people who are in similar circles that would be at an InvestFest, for example. So it's a great opportunity to market towards people who want to be in a community like this. So I think a big part of it, though, is at InvestFest, you have so many different types of tribes, if you will, you know, in that same sphere of all these people, all dope people, dope individuals, and to a certain level, they're on the same frequency. But even in that, people are on different frequencies. So I think like find your tribe is like just a dope. Keys talks about that a lot. Kyrie's talked about that. And I think it's just a dope. That's just the vision I had. Because it's like there's so many tribes there. You got to find yours, you know?
Solomon, I don't think you been to InvestFest. Yeah, you went last year. Yeah. What you think?
With the showcases and the models in the middle too, I feel like nobody else had that. So I think the setup's gonna be crucial. And I think I like what Amechi said too with the whole find your tribe. I feel like that would be a good marketing tactic too. I think one thing we did well last year too was the 19 minutes. That brought hella people to the booth and like it got people engaged because Keys also had one of like the fans. They did like a raffle to see who wanted to come up and do a 19 minutes with him like in front of everybody. So I feel like it got the people engaged watching around the booth. And then obviously like since there's people there watching, more people came to see what was going on. So yeah, I mean I guess you can't do it this year, but it was good. It was a good turnout last year for sure.
I would love to incorporate something, you know, last year was like, oh, Keys, he's here, people talking to him, other guests are talking to him, we have a raffle winner talking to him. I would think that this year, whatever we do, it's really the focus is on the community. And like that's what I would think. So like even regardless of what we do, mic or no mic, I would love to have something ahead of time. And I mentioned this before, but something where the community has like a brief ahead of InvestFest where it's like we already have an order of people who are in line to get their personal merch bags that are already things that they get, like just something where it really highlights the community. That's to me like that'd be raw. Like I don't want to tell them necessarily they gotta wear XYZ to InvestFest, but like something where it's like, oh, they're different, they're moving different, how can I be a part of what they are? This is like with events in general, whether you're doing a tour, whether you're doing InvestFest, whatever, you got to do it so good so that the outside community who are people that are just there, they like to them, everything is A1. To them, everything is A1. Now, something's always going to go wrong on the back end with like big events. It's just going to happen. Like something's going to go wrong. And last year, specifically with the booth, a lot of issues. It caused a lot of issues for the team. I'm happy though that people didn't see that though. People still like even what Solomon said, like it was like it stood out. Like it was nobody's gonna see any of that, right? Like we got to that point. You like ultimately, however we got there, however we had to put it down, like that was an issue, but we got to that point.
I just want everything to flow. So that's why we got to cross all the T's and dot the I's this year. For sure. Events.
Yeah, that's what you pay for early and everything. So you just, you know, like you don't have to deal with those sort of things.
There's a modeling job where they was gonna be using it in the prints, magazines, ads, features, commercials. Couldn't even do it. Got other obligations. I think the most beautiful thing about life is the word no. Every entrepreneur has to have the word no triggered up for their vocabulary because no means you focus. The more things you say no to, the more focused you are. Yo, Keys, you want me to come do over there? Nope. I got something else going on. Yo, we about to go Nope. Can't even do it. I'm working on this. Yo, but there's some money. Oh, wish I could, but I'm already doing this right now. I got my obligations. The more somebody says no, the more focused they are. And not enough people know the magic of the word no. No is a magic portal to your destination. You going this way? Let's go left. No. Let's go right. No. I'm going straight ahead. There's no detour. There's no way you can convince me to go other than what my destination is. No, no, no. Remember that. So whatever you about to ask me, no. That's the commercial. Negating opportunities, navigating opportunities. Navigating opportunities. That's what no is. It's navigating opportunities. No, I'm navigating opportunities. Navigating opportunities. Can't let this shit influence me. I would say yeah, but I'm too busy saying no.
Droga's Wave, you ever heard that one, Lupe? Yeah. I never like he had hella albums. I never even like all his last 5 years shit really. Like I
think Droga's Wave was the one I stopped. After that, I probably kind of stopped listening.
You didn't like it?
I think it's just the magic had wore off. He was still rapping, but I didn't feel like he was in that pocket of magic.
You saw that song Country? Like the new one he did? Yeah. That was dope. Yeah, that was dope.
I feel like he became he was technically him, but not like the magic wasn't there though. Like he can rap. It's like Eminem. Eminem, of course he can fucking rap, but is it a song that got repeat value for you?
Yeah, you
You know, you saw Apple Music did like top 100 albums. You see that? So I was just going back on some artists like Lupe, because at first I wasn't a Lupe fan at all. My homie had put me on him, and I was like, damn, this is actually like hella raw. I became a big fan, and of course, like his mixtape stuff is crazy. But like, I don't know why in my mind I thought that The Cool was like his best CD, but I'm tripping. Like Food and Liquor is like by far. Yeah, by far. It's like, I don't know why I thought in my head that The Cool was like better, like as a CD. Like, nah, bro.
Food and Liquor is the best offering that he ever had. Food and Liquor 2 was actually really good as well. You know what I mean? He got Food and Liquor 1 and 2 was crazy. That's when he, like, Food and Liquor is when he was in his super bag. You know what I mean? Because that's what Superstars on Food and Liquor 1?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's when he started getting blackballed. And that's when he stopped having love for the game. And that's when he stayed technically good, but his spirit wasn't in it.
Superstar might have been on The Cool, I feel like. No?
I don't think so. You are who you say you are, a superstar.
Yeah, Superstar was on The Cool. I was watching one of those like podcasts where people like really know music, and it's crazy because they be like your age or like younger than you, and they be like, I just be like, man, to me, those channels would have more credibility with me if there were certain genres of music and stuff that they were just like, oh, I don't really know this genre that well, or I don't really like resonate with this, because I'm just like, how do you know everything? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, pop, you know, rock, you know, like the soul, you know, like, and you like an expert in just all of it, and you just know all the music, like, and you like 23 years old, 22 years, like, that don't even make any sense to me. I'd be like, bro, like, how? Like, when did you start listening to this stuff, and how, like, it just don't make sense to me. But somebody was talking about like they were doing like the best albums every year. It's like the NFR podcast, if you know them. And they're from Canada. They were doing the best album every year. And then for 2000 and, I don't know what year it was, 2006, I want to say, they picked the MF Doom Madlib first album over College Dropout. And I was just like, what? Like, and they're like, yeah, it's hard, but like, yeah, I mean, you gotta pick this. And I'm just like better than so I had to like go through that album. I just like the past 2 days I went through that album twice, and it, like the second time it kind of like grew on me a little bit, but I don't see like how that's even like, you know what I'm saying? Just again, because it's like I feel like the Madlib style and stuff is kind of like an acquired taste. Like most, like it's not like it's acquired taste. It's very you know, the way he puts together samples, and like MF Doom, I didn't know this about him, but he produced as well. So it wasn't like he was just a rapper, he was a producer as well. He produced like, I guess like one of the songs in that project, but you know, like puts you into your own world and stuff like that. But, which I understand. I feel like music, there's like music and then there's like mainstream music, and mainstream stuff has a big influence on like what people like and things like that, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the end all be all. But I just feel like an album like College Dropout, which is Kanye's first, you know, album, was like, I feel like most people, I don't know, I guess people be saying Dark Twisted Fantasy is like their favorite Kanye album, but I feel like most people really think it's College Dropout. It did have me going back to like Section 80 again, because I don't know why.
Section 80 is a mixtape, right?
I never looked at Section 80, like I was just about to say, I never looked at Section 80 like an album. I feel like after time, like over time, shit gets like considered that way because it's like, you know, the Spotify with that, like, so shit like it gets treated as an album. But I never thought it was an album when it came out. I thought Good Kid, Mad City was Kendrick's first album. But anyways, I was going back to that shit. Like that shit was like actually like hella raw.
So it was 1999 a mixtape or album?
Mixtape. And they made, again, however they classify it now, like whatever, but it was a mixtape for sure. Like people usually want you to like stay as the artist that you met them as, you know? Like, and that's not how life works. It's like people grow, you know, artists grow just like people grow. It's the same thing. So your experience is gonna go, your sound is gonna grow, like all that. I think about that with Joey Badass a lot because he's made great music throughout his whole career. But my favorite, like 1999 is one of my favorite music projects, period.
You got it? No, I thought you'd been working out. Say, okay. Come on in. I see you got that.
It's all right. It's all
I
right.
just say you because it was like viral. It was like a TikTok song, like an Instagram song.
Nah, I never even really listened to Bob Marley like that. I just know people just tell me Bob Marley that dude. But I mean, I know Bob Marley. He that dude
You're not very
for the
you're
smokers.
not like super eclectic with music, are you?
Who, me?
Yeah, you're not very
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm like the most eclectic person. Put on XXX. Not XX Tentacion. Where my phone? I'm like the most eclectic nigga you gonna meet. You know, humans, we all got different styles, different tastes, you know. And I think we all got different ears and different perspectives. And, you know, you got your music and I got mine. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. Steve is not eclectic.
Steve listens to a lot of like he'll know all the gospel shit. Like,
It's just
oldies
right.
Shit, like some stuff. So like that's what I'm saying. Like outside of like just primary like hip hop shit, I know I can't resonate with Steve in certain areas, but I know he's gonna know like some like, you know what I'm saying?
Right, he gonna know some R&B or maybe some gospel or some definitely Future.
So I wouldn't say he's not.
I'm gonna know some pop shit too.
Yeah, for sure. Steve will always know like whatever like the popular songs are. Like he'll for sure know. For sure. Yeah, so I feel like that's not true. Steve
But that's not eclectic. You just call him a pop music
But
aficionado.
it's still eclectic though. They still know the music. I'm talking about like outside of like the core like hip hop, mainstream hip hop.
I feel like I'm a purist eclectic. I don't be knowing all of the pop artists, but I'm gonna know somebody you never heard of. That's just a vibe before they even get on. I'm that type of person. I discover people. I'm gonna show you one that I just found recently. She dope as hell. Matter of fact, I just followed her.
They saying like we need they like shorter songs and shit. You know, our debate now, we like longer songs. That's where we come from. Like, I ain't really a fan of a short song either. Unless it's a rap song. Rap song can be short.
Yeah, I don't really like a short song because it's like, what's the point of a short song? It's like a jingle. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's cheaper.
It's a debate because it's like for the newer artists, y'all make TikTok music. So of course people want to take a little snippet of your song. You know what I'm saying?
This is an interesting conversation. Yeah, I agree. I think the only time, to Keith's point, the only time you really have a short song that makes sense is like some interlude type shit, where it's like an instrumental or something that's not even like a full like song. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I don't see no point.
Like even with finding beats nowadays, when you get on YouTube and try to find some beats, they be hella short, like 2 minutes. They be like that.
Yeah, you gotta extend everyone. I feel like when you go listen to oldies but goodies, if it's a good song, I don't want it to end. Right? Think about Not Like Us. Not Like Us has like 3 different transitions to it. But each one is a vibe. You feel me? You get to that part of the song, okay. You get to the next part of the song, people, you feel me? So like he made music specifically for the outside. That's the difference. When you make money for make music for the inside, for the phone, then yeah, you just need snippet music because you need parts that people go use in their content. So that's kind of like that's like making music for it to be in a movie. Because so Rams was the one who showed me a breakdown where like you'll make a song where there's like the more parts in the song that people can use to license out, the more money you will make. So once you get to like the business of song making, that's where you get to like TikTok. But when you get to like the soul of song making, that's when you get to hip hop. Once you start saying songs got to be 3 minutes, now the song couldn't be what it's supposed to be. It got to be this edited product.
Now, I would say, like you said, you got the online music, but then you got radio music. I don't want to hear 15 minutes song on the radio. I can't agree to that. So it can't be, I want to hear a song longer than 4 or 5 minutes on radio.
Yeah, I don't listen to the radio.
Who
listens to the radio? Who?
I was in the room the other day.
Yo!
Not Like Us on the radio.
That's the crazy part. The fact that people listen to the radio is crazy to me. Like people listening to the radio is like asking somebody to. But think about what you just said. That's prison talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm saying But listen to what you're saying. Yes, there's a large populace of people incarcerated. But I'm saying, those they listen to the radio because they have no choice. I'm talking about the fact that we have all these choices. You can curate your own playlist. You can put on whatever you want to in the world, and you gonna let somebody else decide what you gonna listen to in your day. And if they don't play what you want, you gonna get mad. That's crazy to me.
Majority of the people listen to the radio are like old people because like they don't even know how to make playlists or do any of that. Like they just turn it on and just they cool with it.
It's crazy. Like when we say old people, it's like old people not stupid.
We talking about it's a specific type of people.
They're lazy.
Real quick.
They not late.
They're too lazy to learn it. So that's
I do what I was saying with the radio shit. It's if you're listening to the clarification is music. If you're listening to music for the radio, I could understand if you look at like an opinion piece, you watching somebody's show, whatever, listen to that. But like listening to music and relying on the radio for that is kind of crazy.
I can see where somebody's listening to like a Breakfast Club, right? And Breakfast Club, of course, is only going to play the most popular because they're going to want people to stay listening in between going to the talking points, right? So here they talk, now we're going to a popular song. But it's like, most people don't even listen to that. They go listen, well, you know, they listen to Breakfast Club for sure. But I'm saying you listen to your podcast, you feel me? Maybe I need to start adding in just a song break. All right, we're going to be right back. Here comes Two Minds. And then you play your song and then it go back to the podcast. Actually, I think that's a dope idea. I like the fact that he's challenging and he's getting people to think. You know, until I do a full breakdown, I'm gonna leave my thoughts at that. People was asking me today, go over the periodic table and all of that. You know, I have to do things that interest me. Number one, it's really not my interest because it also has to have a application on how I'm going to use it. You know, I like the way that he broke it down, and I like the way one scientist explained it. And I think one thing they got to understand how Black people speak. We speak spiritual. So we're always going to turn everything into art and poetry. I think Western world is super technical in the way they think about things and speak about things. So they may not understand the very nature in which we see things. We don't see things flat. We see things multidimensional. So we're going to speak on things in a spiritual way. We're going to speak on things in a very poetic manner. We're going to bring things to life. We're going to animate them. That's the power, right, of poetry and art. And I think that's what you were listening to with Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard, you were listening to him animate, right, science. And science has been dead for a very long time because it just lays flat, right? And that animation, he said, I'm going to take something that lays flat and then I'm going to give it, you know, dimension, right? And that's how the Black man mind works. So when you listen to the way, you know, our mind works and the way we animate things with spirit, then it's very powerful because you're listening to a God, right? Give life to something. So remember that. We were never a people that was just psychological. That's the white man science. That's Freudian science. They take the mind of psychology, Greek. But we were always spirit and mind. So understanding that science, right? When we deal with any type of science, we have to deal with the spirit and the mind and not just the mind. Remember that. We got to breathe life into things, and that's what spirit is. So that's my talk or my high level at the brief moment on Terrence Howard.
Drake just be copying niggas' style. See, copy and paste. He don't come up with his own origin. You feel me? Where it's like all of the greats, all of the GOATs, nobody writing for J. Cole. Nobody writing for Kendrick. Nobody writing for Andre. You feel me?
Your goals too, right? Like if you want to be a rapper and you get in the game. Listen. Is it for your? Is you doing it? Is it go to the intention? Is you doing this shit for monetary gain? Is you doing this shit for popularity? Is you doing it? What are you doing it for? He probably chose the money.
Of course he chose the money.
Exactly.
Too, claiming he's the best and all this other shit. And how you?
We nobody's saying that. He's the greatest business person in hip hop history, but he's not the best rapper. So he should not be in that category. That's it. That's the only argument.
So when it comes to the big three, who's the big three? Cause all these niggas,
Kanye.
and they gotta write that shit.
Hold
So
on.
take Kanye out.
No, because he's not just in the big three for that. He's the most
I'm
influential
talking
artist
about
of all
music,
time.
my nigga.
I am
I'm
too.
talking about rapping. When it comes
so
to big
now
three.
you're moving the goalposts.
No,
So
I'm
just
not.
rapping.
Just rapping. Now don't get to talking about this fashion and nothing. When it comes to the rap music, and they gotta write all of their music, can never have a reference track or none of that. Who's the top three?
Kendrick, have you got to Cole, and Jay-Z?
I'm cool with that. I would have put Nas over Jay-Z.
Jay-Z and Nas, but that's a different era. I feel like you just talking like all like
We
who's
gonna talk all
living
time.
and breathing.
All time.
It was real like one of the last classic albums.
You said what?
444 was still one of the last classic albums. It don't matter how we gotta stop that era shit because as long as you make something in this particular decade that's a hit, you modern.
If Jay-Z and Nas, there's such a big influence on the artists who are like younger than them. So it's like hard to say that those artists can ever be better than them when they're so influenced from them. That's the only thing with me with separating out generations. It's like how could you ever say Kendrick is better? How could you ever say anybody's better than Tupac when he birthed? You know what I'm saying? The whole big part of the genre. How could you say Jay-Z or Nas isn't as good as Kendrick when like they helped birth so much of who he is? I just don't even feel like that those comparisons are even like valid on that sense.
Comparison, we saying who is on the top right now still. Because if there's a visible where you gonna say is Jay-Z better than, think of a rapper, Lil Yachty. Nigga gonna say yes, instantly. Because no matter which way you slice it or dice it, niggas gonna be like, yes, nigga. That's done. But when you say Jay-Z and Kendrick, now you start putting all these other goalposts. We just saying this, the niggas as good in modern time, right? Whatever metrics you want to go by. So there has to be some kind of metric to say the person is the greatest or the best. And Kanye still fits.
What's the metrics in your opinion?
I say album number one. If you gotta have a classic or great album in this decade, meaning the last 10 years, you feel me? You have to be influential. You still have to have presence. You feel me? I think those are the main three for me.
Your boy Kendrick not on that.
You said who?
Kendrick?
Why?
Do he meet all of the criteria you just said?
Yeah.
Albums?
Presence, influential.
What are you talking about?
He's influenced. Who he influenced though? What's
He
Kendrick
just beat the
influenced?
best rapper alive, so-calledly. That's a stat that it don't even nothing. If you did nothing for the last 10 years and you come and take Drake down, you the top guy. It don't matter nothing else. It's like in spades and you pull out a Joker card. I don't care how good you've been playing. I got something that's gonna spank the whole hand.
So he over Kanye.
Right now, yeah.
Right now, for the moment.
Yeah. Kendrick is over everybody right now. Kendrick is he's the king of the rap game right now, right? It's really King Kendrick. He's the boogeyman.
I ain't gonna say the king, cause
He's the king.
How do you think it is?
look at his future. Fuck is you talking about? Not just playing, but nah. Me personally, I'm gonna say Kanye though. Even you know what I'm saying. Kanye for me, I would pick Kanye over all the rappers right now.
Right now it's Kendrick. Right now it's Kendrick. You gotta give it to Kendrick, bro. Kanye has tried to take on Drake. He could not. No, but
I don't think that shit gonna stop nothing that Drake ever had going on.
you cannot underscore the importance of it. You know what I mean? This nigga Drake reply was he out here buying bitches BBLs. Like, what is this shit? Ain't playing. I want to hear that shit. What are you talking about, BBL Drizzy?
What I'm saying is, I don't think this Kendrick shit is gonna fuck anything that Drake had going on up. It's gonna slow anything down. Tupac won.
What does that have to do? Hold on.
Ludacris beat
What is your
T.I.
point? What does your point have to do with Drake? I'm talking about Kendrick.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. That's why I say. You say it gotta count for something, right?
No.
Why it don't count for me?
No.
I don't think it's gonna stop.
No, you just said that this whole beef is just gonna prove that it's not gonna really do anything for Drake. It's not gonna matter that much. I'm saying because Kendrick went into beef and you even agree that he beat him, and he's the top. Drake is one of the top artists, you know, by all accounts. He beat him. That's got to count for hella shit when you're considering who the top artists are. That's all I'm saying. He beat Drake, bro. Like that's not even. Future made a whole CD. Future made a whole CD that has an undertone
of a diss against, of a sneak diss against Drake. Kendrick just went out on one-on-one and beat him. That's gotta mean something, bro. That's got like, come on now.
I think for me is I just don't feel like Kendrick catalog still is better than Drake's.
That's fine, but I'm not talking about that. He keeps moving shit. I'm not even talking about. That's what I'm saying. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about the beat.
I just don't think Kendrick can outdress Drake. I don't think he got more women. Like, what they got to do with anything?
You see how I get the whole team feathers ruffled? All I gotta do is just move the goalposts, man.
I see everybody hella mad. They hella mad. They can't.
We don't know none of these niggas. We don't know none of these niggas, man.
Some rappers. I don't know them two.
We low level or high level?
Information is everywhere. You can log into YouTube right now and type in almost any subject. But I'm gonna be honest with you, you won't even know if it's human generated or if it's just based on the algorithm that figured out that you wanted to find this subject. It queried your information, created an automated process so they can get your eyeballs to try to sell you a product or get advertisement dollars. Humans need humans. We don't work and operate that well learning for machines. Because it's the connection to the information, it's the connection to the process that allows us to grow our neurons. It's that connection that allows us to be able to tap into that tapestry of thought to where we need to learn and be in environments to where we feel aspirational and we are inspired and it's empathetic. So today it's not about just having access to the information. It's not just about being able to have democratized education everywhere. It's about connection. Are you actually connected to it? When you are in a community, it reinforces that environment of connection. And that's why being a part of High Level is so important. So you are reinforcing an environment with that human connection. I see you, you see me, you feel felt, you want to learn. Information and data, statistics and numbers and automation is fine, especially if you want to create income and utilize the technology for such. But human connection has always been a real source of learning. We learn from each other, each one teach one, and we grow. And being in social circles to where we can be in sync with each other, reinforcing that information, constantly being validated with the importance of that knowledge, that's how we truly grow as human beings. Don't just go for the information. Go for the community and go for the connection. Tap into High Level now.